5 semi-final. In the bottom left corner, is he going to be the one to get to the finals and try and exact revenge from the group stages? We have MaxPax here in the bottom left of Leylines for map 1. Leylines has been very popular when just being a map that anyone can pick for map 1. Fun to see. As in the top right, our blue Terran player, it is ByuN, trying to stop MaxPax here today. The winner of this plays against Shin in the grand finals. That is already determined. Shin really looking strong as well. Whoever advances to face him is going to have to be in tip-top shape. Assimilator coming up. Gateway on the way. Rax on the SCV coming over as we get ourselves settled into game number 1. Probe gonna nibble at the SCV, so a little bit of damage being done. Probe moving around. It's gonna be seen our Reaper coming up. Next is in the Cybercore coming through as well. Again, Reaper and the Orbital continue through the Cybercore building. Next is on the way. A probe producing. Couple probes producing. Pylon popping as well. The probe of MaxPax will take a journey out down to the bottom left. And Reaper continues to come over, and Warp Gate is building through. He's going to have our probe continuing to get down to the bottom left for a few moments, just bringing that along for a little bit. Reaper will continue about also here for a little while. A little bit of motion to begin with. Reaper poking about, handling a couple of things. He's going to Adept continue to hit the depot for a couple of moments as well. So depot taking some damage. Reaper hops back down the low ground here. I'm just going to drop another couple of grenades in. Start working their way through the probes and just trying to be annoying. Obviously, Reaper giving you some info. The engineering bay block initially forces MaxPax out of position on the initial nexus. We'll still have that blink on the way up. The warp gate coming through. An extra gateway going down here from MaxPax as well. And we do have a couple more probes coming out. Robo facility will build also. Depth will shade up to the top. The Marines are going to come over. The orbital command flying through. Again, Medevac Marines all coming about here. SCV coming in. Tech Lab on the way. 2 Adepts are going to shade their way through the natural and toward the main base, where they're going to meet a wall off and not be able to do too much else for the moment. Medevac and a couple of mines going to get out into the center. Adept just going to come over as well. Just going to be seeing the barracks dropping into place. I think a couple of wooded mines going to lift off and move elsewhere. Let me make this wooded mine drop be as effective as possible. Just going to see how Reaper going to get through over toward the main mineral line. The probe will take a few more shots of damage. That probe goes down. Stalkers will clean out the Reaper there. Those Widow Mines do get burrowed, bang bang, and that's going to be actually 3 workers in total. Not bad, but the Medevac goes down. That's going to be big for MaxPax. So now you don't have to deal with the Medevac still being there over an extended period of time. Mine continues across, just going to see the Nexus and the Probe continuing through as well. A couple of additional Marines coming out. The racks and the Engineering Bay on the way up as well. Factory moves off the Tech Lab to make way for another barracks so we can get Combat Shield started ASAP. And obviously that trio of upgrades, Stim, Combat +1, that really does open up the mid-game for a Terran player in the world of TVP. So definitely expecting that to be a big factor here in the near future. Our Stalker's just going to gather, Observer moving about, Stim and +1 and Combat Shield all coming through. Coming about, just going to see our charge and our +1 coming up as well. Just going to continue to get that going here currently. The Raven gets behind the back, just going to be seeing our probes. Going to take a couple of nibbles, one probe going down. The Raven now gets into the back of the main base. Drop an auto turret down as well. Going to target down a probe there too, so that's a couple of probes going down. Raven chilling on the bottom side, a few Stalkers gather in the center. Gonna get a depot building in the natural. Gonna see another command center coming into place. Medevac, Marine Marauder, Stim Combat and +1. All of that coming up right now. Continue to get that going. Focus playing defense, stopping the Medevac even getting out. Playing defense while being on the other side of the map. The drops just can't go anywhere. ByuN will fully rotate those to the top side of the map as MaxPax will ask for a quick little pause here. So we'll take a moment. Hopefully not too much of an issue. Hopefully something quickly solved. Looks as though it was pretty quickly solved. As we can get back onto this, ByuN says ready. I don't have referee powers, so it's not down to me. As our Robobay comes up. So yeah, ByuN actually just going to unload the Medevacs that we're trying to drop. And Raven actually comes in for a few more probes. That Raven is being successful. If nothing else, that's able to get some damage done. And keeping this game in the balance at the moment. ByuN is going to start moving forward. We got the Robobay finishing shortly. The Immortal and the +1 attack upgrade will continue through. Fabric coming in also as we just see a little bit of the Bio chasing the Stalkers away, pushing those back out that bottom side. That's actually a couple of Stalkers going down. So nice pickoffs for ByuN here as he can continue down to the south. So away we go. Zealots are going to drop straight in. The ByuNs will get rid of a few more of those Zealots. They have to lift up and back away again. Getting out of there for the moment. Alright, going to stim up, and again, the Zealots and so trying to come through as well. A couple of Zealots trying to hit the front door, the bunker. That's going to be holding though, and yeah, ByuN with a decent defense, no damage really taken. +2 attack, extended thermal lance coming out. The Zealot and the Colossus continuing by. Just going to see the Widowmine pulling back over. That Zealot does indeed fall. And a few probes go down for the moment. So the few probes are going to drop. The Orbital Command lifts off and moves over to the third base once again. It's a Ghost Academy in the back of the natural. 2 more Vikings in production. 3 Marauders and 2 Marines on the way too. Extended Thermal Lance, Colossus and +2. All of that continuing in right now. Fire drones up, Medevac's going to be there, Scan gets rid of the obs. Obviously ByuN just taking 3 bases patiently. Look what MaxPax has done map control wise though. He's got red dots all over the map. It's going to be so tough for ByuN to catch MaxPax out of position and to move him around in a way that he wants to. Because MaxPax is going to be so aware of what ByuN is doing, and that's one of the things I usually say ByuN is very good at in this PvT matchup. Moving around, catching his opponent off guard, forcing his opponent to be out of position. MaxPax is ready with his own counterattacks as well as ByuN does chase the Zealots away to the top side. His natural expansion will be a bit open. The bunker holds for a moment or two, but no really anything in it. Try and poke at the front, but multiple Colossus are going to be there. ByuN will try and siege the tanks. I don't think MaxPax can chase down the ramp into those. He agrees. He backs away from it. ByuN still dealing with the attack. I mean, to be fair, honestly, very good play from both sides. MaxPax's defense is absolutely what it needs to be. ByuN's defense is absolutely stunning as well. He really doesn't take much damage. Finally, you actually do see MaxPax getting back onto the third base where he'll kill a few SCVs. And ByuN will drop a little bit there as he gets an Engineering Bay and Armory coming up. Actually, pretty late Armory, so 2-2 is going to be delayed. But he has kind of, to be fair, sometimes 2-2 being delayed is kind of a thing that you want to do because you want to focus right now on Viking Ghost production. But he has 700 gas banks. I'm going to say that the Armory probably is actually a little bit of a mistake being this late. You know, focus on Viking Ghost is one thing, but having the gas to kind of go 2-2 and Viking Ghost kind of suggests that maybe you should have been doing both. So that's going to get up into the main. Oh, no deeper raise there. This is where ByuN is actually starting to take some damage. It was a great set of defenses initially. Now MaxPax with a few more zealots starting to break in. Ghost going down is obviously a pretty serious kind of set of losses. Those are expensive units. They don't come easily. As we'll see this Ghost. Oh, it's going to go down. Well, there's a couple of Ghosts dead in the main base, plus a bunch of SCVs. ByuN's army continues to build up, but yeah, taking some serious economic hits at the moment. Going to allow MaxPax to max more comfortably. Stalker step up. The Raven is going to be chased by a single Stalker. There is a Widow Mine there, but the Raven goes down, and the Stalker is going to be happy to take that kill. Raven obviously a really good unit. The longer this game goes, the lot you can get done with it. ByuN gets a 4th command center finish, so he'll be able to move that into position. Maybe with a 4th base coming up, that's where MaxPax can get a few more pushes going as well. Medevacs moving about, just going to Vikings join up together as well. I'm going to try and take that forward base here on ley lines. This obviously does shorten the map in a big way, and it makes it very scary. If you're out of position for a moment, your opponent's army can get to that 4th base so quickly and so easily. He goes down. I see DT harass an option as well. As the units continue to come about again. MaxPax with the main army, like I say, he's going to try and find openings here. ByuN has got the angle to come in from 2 different sides. You got to be careful as MaxPax. The last thing you want is like a couple of your tech units to be caught just on the other end of this attack. Good EMPs, and honestly, first wave of damage from ByuN is pretty deadly. MaxPax loses a good chunk of supply, but he's also in a position to rebuild up very easily. You know, we're in a position right now where we are, you know, on 2-2 upgrade, 3-2 upgrades finishing. Dark Shrine, he's on his 6th base building as well. Shadow Stride is about to be done, is what I meant when I said Dark Shrine. So MaxPax has a lot of things for the long term here. Vikings, Medevacs continue to go. Entering in the center, just going to be seeing a couple more Disruptors coming up. Bio potential to stem up here and take this fight. Vikings will do a lot. Disruptor doesn't do too much initially. Disruptor on the top side get a few kills, but actually I don't think enough kills, as ByuN is going to continue to charge forwards. The Colossus and Disruptors just have not done enough damage to the Bio. MaxPax going to need a round of Zealots here to start subduing this attack, and I think he is going to get the units he needs. Reinforcements show up from ByuN a few moments late. It's very hard to see what the Disruptors were actually able to connect on there. ByuN is going to have enough to knock down the 6th base. That's scary because you move up the ramp to the left and you have a 5th base sitting right there to be grabbed as well. And now MaxPax is going to be on what? Stalker's out Disruptor, not a reliable army composition. You got to really rely heavily on the Disruptors, and if you ever kind of let this Terran army get close to you, you're going to have a very bad time. Stalkers will help to chase away. As ByuN sits about 180 supply to MaxPax is 155. The Prism on the right side is going to be intercepted, completely denied, as ByuN says, no, you do not get to drop into my natural. You do not get to control that position. I'm the one that is in control of this game, and so far that is true. Now getting 4 Liberators on the way up as well with advanced ballistics. ByuN making his very good tech up into the next stage of this game. That amount of libs is going to go a long way for him. A long way for him. So Stalker's Disruptors come through. Bio going to fight. A few Vikings are going to be there. Disruptor Shot does nothing. Next Disruptor Shot does nothing. Next Disruptor Shot does nothing. Finally, a Disruptor Shot clips a few units in the middle of that. Took a little while. As ByuN comes down to the south, we do have 2 more Disruptors popping up on the side of MaxPax. Disruptors continuing through. The Robo Facility will come up as well. Additional Liberators and Ghost building from ByuN. Like I say, those Libs, I think, are a fantastic addition at this point. Once again, Disruptors are not finding their targets. The Libs are going to start sieging up, but maybe unnecessarily so. There are DTs on the other side of the map that we got to go and deal with, as the SCVs are just dropping. The Liberators get sieged. DTs start to run away. 15 workers going down. ByuN, 58 SCVs only in the game, so his economy not great. Loses the Engineering Bay. +3 attack denied. That's actually a pretty serious upgrade to lose out on, so he will get that going on his other Engineering Bay. Yeah, upgrade deficit for ByuN there as he loses the Engineering Bay. A couple of libs left on the bottom side, cleaned out as well. MaxPax utilizing those DTs very well right there. And definitely creating a distraction and a diversion that's going to take ByuN's attention and allow him to punish it a little bit. EMPs go down. Once again, the Disruptors still failing to land, and that's why this is kind of a bit of a flimsy setup for MaxPax, because you still don't have, to me, that solid army that can just take a straight-up fight. You're still super reliant on the Disruptors, you know? They're going to trade. He's going to see the Disruptor coming over as well. Going to land on the Marauder. Prism gets into the main base. A single Ghost. Going to try and save the day. There's nothing there. The DT attempted warping gets denied immediately as the Prism does get shot at one final time. The next Ghost that spawned got the job done. ByuN sees those DTs there. He dropped the EMP to reveal a couple, but they have the blink away. End up coming across here. MaxPax, his defense right now is Dark Templar base. We're going to get the scans. The DT should not be that scary. They're not dying very quickly, though. Obviously, the Vikings on the ground as well, just trying to add in what they can. Against the Zealots, they should not do that well. Surprised the Medivacs are not backing up, as we do have ByuN trying to attack the bottom side, but the Disruptors are in position to defend that part of it. The Stalkers intercept the retreating Medivacs. 2 of 3 go down. As ByuN is going to retreat back up with more army, more bio, continuing around as well. Another Stalker falls. A little bit of bio getting back down this ramp. We're going to scan out, see what's up, and see what's happening. 3-3 upgrades. Still coming through. Also here currently, just going to be having the Stalkers blinking to the top side. Zealots coming over. EMPs are going to land. Some of the Zealot Stalker getting hit by that. Shields disappearing. Disruptors continue to land as well. Obviously, ByuN finally going to get close towards 3-3. Yeah, just to clarify, guys, he lost the attack upgrade that was on the Engineering Bay, and he cancelled his armor upgrade to rebuild +3 attack immediately, even though the armor is very close to being done. He values that attack upgrade so much more than he values the armor upgrade, so tells you a little bit about just how much he values it to cancel the nearly done armor to go into the attack. Actually rebuilt the Engineering Bay and got the armor going on that one again, as we're going to see the DTs just going to blink in, and that planetary is going to die. It's kind of the stage of the game where you question, is it even worth having a planetary? A lot of the time at this point, Terrans just build orbitals, because then at least you can lift them up sometimes against the DTs. Stalker Disruptor in a very good position. What a Disruptor shot to the right side. For all the Disruptor shots we've missed, that one will land, and ByuN, in a flurry of events here, going to lose 14 SCVs, a planetary, and a ton of army supply. One thing MaxPax has done is continue to expand back up into good base numbers as well. And consistency is going to prevail as he finally gets some good Disruptor shots. He's finally able to get a massive connection. And for all the advantages ByuN gave himself in this game, he was not able to break through MaxPax. And MaxPax was able to stay in it with that flimsy composition and eventually find this position now, where he's maxed out and ByuN sits at 150 supply. MaxPax double expanding because he's just in that good of a spot. He can get away with it at the moment. Another Disruptor shot flies, does not land. +3 armor coming up, +3 shields. This CC just lifts up in time. That's exactly why you probably want to keep this as an orbital rather than a planetary, because in this case you can save it. At least you can get the CC back in position there. The Disruptors will go too far initially. Next Disruptor is going to hit the mineral line. Did you lose some Disruptors during this? ByuN still trailing about 40 supply. That's been the case since that previous round of attacks. He's been unable to really kind of match MaxPax's max out, who's now, by the way, building 3 Colossus at once. MaxPax says, cool, I'm in full control. I can stop and slow down to build 3 Colossus, and then he's got no answer to that right now. I mean, ByuN's trying to build up the Liberators, but stuck on 5 base. Going to have to keep repositioning those Liberators around in different places, too. Now there's old Stalker Disruptor going to try and come around the right. It's another Disruptor shot that should not land, at least. ByuN with a big army spread. Army supply is playable for ByuN here, as we are going to see a couple tanks nearby. SCVs do not get there to repair, though. The Planetary doing what it can. ByuN is busy diving in on this army. Disruptor shots flying through. ByuN actually has an army supply advantage here, but it's so rough because you're losing so much, and obviously you got to go and deal with the DTs before you can go and attack. I mean, now is the time for ByuN to just send it, but of course the 3 Colossus are going to have something to say about that when he gets across the other side, and that's why it was actually a big deal. Going to see a few of those mules going to escape away. Just going to see the Disruptors coming up, +1 shields and +3 armor coming up. Stalkers coming through as well, as our Stalkers are Colossus coming over that right-hand side. We scan once again. So Stalkers going to start moving forwards. The Bio going to fight there. A couple of Zealots going down. Zealots taking damage, and again, just going to be seeing MaxPax making a push into this base. ByuN still has a massive army supply, but obviously I think he's on a worse army right now. He is going to dive in. He's going to get the Disruptors with this Arc of Doom. Look at him go. The Disruptors are going to die, and now he's going to chase down the Colossus. 3 Colossus. He shouldn't be that afraid of them. Well, I mean, they do a lot of damage because he wasn't stimmed, so he did not close the distance on those Colossus quickly at all. Those Colossus have done so much on the retreat. But ByuN is at double the army supply of MaxPax. I mean, DTs are still harassing on the other side. MaxPax has bases and warp-ins for days. That DT in the corner will go down. The defense made, but man, ByuN has to get across and kill some bases right now. He needs to do some damage immediately here. Otherwise, he's in trouble. He scans and sees the top left. There's a fresh base right here. I mean, take your pick, ByuN. You can't pick a bad direction to attack in at the moment. Maybe we drop the top left while we push into the front. Obviously, what you can do now as well is these Liberators can siege, and MaxPax never went into an anti-Liberator army. And so these Liberators can help ByuN to slowly push into positions. This does not have to just be one quick push. This can be a slow setup now from ByuN, who continues to dominate in army supply. And if MaxPax wants to go into more harassing units, that's going to slow down any proper answer to Liberators. First Stargate of the game is about to be in play, but that's not an answer to Libs on its own. You're going to need a Fleet Beacon, another Stargate, and Tempest, most likely. They're going to come back down the bottom. Nexus will fall. Ghost's going to be there as well. A couple of Libs still sieged up. The Disruptor shots will just clip a couple of those Marauders. Bio coming back across. Just going to be seeing the SCVs going to go moving through. Going to be seeing the Zealots going to continue to go. Just going to be seeing our Zealots continue to go whacking away. Nexus continue to come through. The Liberators will go sieging across the back of this mineral line, so a lot of those probes are going to take a lot of damage. A couple of EMPs going down. Disruptor shot fires. The Ghosts are going to take a turn back into this. Another Disruptor shot firing. Not quite landing just yet. Marauder coming through. Disruptors, Zealots, and a Nexus all coming about also right now. I mean, 24 minutes on ley lines. Talk about a banger of a start of this semi-final matchup. Love that Disruptor shot, by the way. ByuN is so tempted there to go diving into that army. But that Disruptor shot was fired so soon that if he went for it, it would have been horrendous to actually commit to that. The Liberator is going to relocate a little bit themselves. Lib's going to come about. Bio Ghost going to come through. A few Zealots actually flanking onto the army from the top side, but those Zealots will not do too much. They get turned away. MaxPax is definitely struggling to fight the kind of strength of this Terran army at this point, and ByuN getting an additional base or two going as well, being able to mine from those bases like this one, is a huge deal. As the extra Disruptor shots fire in, actually hitting a bunch of Zealots there. This Disruptor shot doesn't do anything at all, and obviously Liberators are firing throughout that. ByuN dodges backwards, lets the Liberators do the work. He's going to get this base. Liberators keep on sieging. Nexus will be going down. 25 minutes on ley lines, but ByuN is starting to break through. He is going to get counterattacked, however, so he's going to have to deal with that, try and minimize losses, but he's got units in position already in the top left-hand side, so that goes absolutely nowhere. ByuN plays the shutdown defensively, and he's just got so much army supply, he knows what he can do with his army aggressively while still having a good amount of defense back at home. He does not need to worry so much about having everything in one place. He's able to succeed right now with the split army. Going to get the base on the bottom as well. Another location lost for MaxPax. Base on the top. In trouble as well. We hit the EMP on the Nexus, so no recall available. This base is probably going to go down. MaxPax will lose economy. MaxPax has no money in the bank. Probes going down is a danger for him. We're going to try and dive in over here. The Liberators getting siege. One goes down. The other building. Disruptor gets a ghost. Disruptor going to get multiple ghosts. Bottom side Disruptor was absolutely huge, as ByuN will take a hit right there, but he finishes the base in the top left. Liberators showing up, but they're not needed. There is a little bit of army in that top left-hand side, actually, as the Zealots are going to show up onto that. Now the Libs will have to siege. The EMP goes down, and ByuN retreats away as we take a moment to resettle ourselves. 4 more Vikings, a few Marauders, and a Ghost, all in production currently, as ByuN continues to rally up his forces. Income advantage is ByuN's, by the way, in terms of minerals. MaxPax has a gas income lead, but I mean, ByuN hasn't even taken his rich Vespene, which I think would probably make the difference if he needed it. That's the difference, right? He doesn't really need that gas income like the Protoss does. And so ByuN mining more than the Protoss for probably the first time in a long time. Oh, that's a disgusting Disruptor shot, though. Just when MaxPax needs it most, he will land one, and he is going to still get charged into. So even though that Disruptor was great, that's how much he needed it, because ByuN is still going to have enough to run up this ramp and come into this army. The cannon goes down. A couple Colossus will hold strong. Zealots going to try and play the flanking game. ByuN kites into those Zealots. Doesn't have much of a choice. He's going to have to try and keep on backing away from this. Kiting as we go. 139 supply to 109. It's going to be good enough for ByuN to capitalize and take game 1 of this best-of-5 semi-final. ByuN closes it out after 27 minutes on ley lines. And this semi-final... Let me get this going. Oh, alright guys, ByuN is up a game. Give me 1 second, so I just sorting something out quickly while we get game number 2 up and rolling here and get this all sorted out. SCV is going to come across probe and get chased around. SCV's just going to chase probe, getting pushed around for a little bit. Orbital command coming up, Cybercore coming through as well. Axis coming in, probe in production, pylon coming by. Just going to see another assimilator coming down in the main. What a great game number 1, man. Obviously, just reset a little bit after that. Absolutely crazy situation playing out. As our command center drops into play in the main. Refinery in the factory coming on through. It's going to be seeing our warp gate coming in. The Nexus coming up as well. So we having that reactor still building forward for the moment. Just take a couple of moments to see there's a Adept moving about. Again, let's just chill out for a little bit after all that chaos. I'm going to get my breath back. That really was an exciting game as well. Like, you know, sometimes you get these long games and, you know, it goes back and forth for a little bit and all of this and that and whatever else, but Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like, this was just crazy. Madness, non-stop. You go, go, go. This is no camping out. This is no waiting around in the 27 minutes. This was just 27 minutes of non-stop action. Marine's going to get there. The Adept is going to get grabbed. So an Adept will go down. The Orbital move into the low ground here as well, so we can get this natural mining. As the Marine count definitely looking good now from ByuN. Reactor on the Marines, continue to get those numbers going as MaxPax builds into a Blink upgrade. So that Blink coming up, the Gateway coming through, the Robotics Facility building from MaxPax as well. Couple Stalkers continue about, and the Medevac with a couple of Widow Mines just going to go across down to the bottom right-hand side. So they're going to go for a little bit of damage over the next little bit. The Blink is going to Chrono Boost. The Medevac is going to drop Widow Mine 1 and 2. Those probes going to have to pull. I think it's a good situation for ByuN. Oh no, the first Widow... Okay, well, the first Widow Mine shot went into the assimilator, so didn't get a kill. The second one actually hits a Stalker, which we kind of like. So it was pretty good, because obviously both those Widow Mines still alive. Again, Blink finishing shortly. The Prism is coming up. Siege Tank and Marines all continuing over. The SCV drops down a bunker as well. Couple Marines gather in. Depot gonna lower. Blink will finish. Nexus continues through for the moment as well. That's going to be our third base from MaxPax being established during all of this. So, you know, gonna have Blink, but only off the 3 gateways and currently not able to get across the map to apply pressure. Gonna be on his way now, but it's not gonna be a lot of Stalkers because 2 of them have to remain home to defend on the Medevac. Moving back over, auto turret firing up. Stalker going to be taking some shots. Stalker very nearly goes down, but not quite. As that auto turret is going to be the only success of that Raven. Doesn't really do much. Let's see, our Prism getting in. Stimpack coming through. Tank, Marine, Marauder all coming up. Engineering Bay coming over as well. It's going to be seen at Depot dropping down. The Nexus will build on the 3rd base. That'll finish very soon. Again, our Forge is coming up from MaxPax as well. A couple of probes still building. The pylon coming in. Our Stalker producing. As that Barracks is going to lift off and move over to the reactor. So Barracks going to jump over there. Again, our Marine Marauder will gather in. Stalker's just jumping onto the bunker at the moment. Stalker's going to shoot a few Marines. Marauder's going to go back. Just going to see the Prism pulling back over that right side. Extra Stalkers will continue to warp in. The charge coming up. Tanks and the ByuNs gathering together. I mean, this is MaxPax. 3 bases set up. ByuN playing the defense in the natural. I'm scared for that tank. It's very on its own with the Bio in the main. We're going to jump in it. Just about gets the 1 shot off. Oh! The second tank shot from the high ground is good, though, as we do scan. And we did kill the Observer there, right? Yes. So we do grab that. 4 Stalkers on the right side. We'll just unload. The Stalkers jump back into the Prism. As again, +1 attack and combat shield coming up. The Marine Marauder Medevac all producing. Widow Mines on the way in. Oh, that's a nice cancel on the CC. 3rd base being delayed is obviously a big plus to MaxPax. Major boon to him. Man, it's kind of crazy having to play MaxPax in a best of 5 because you just got to go through 5 games, most likely, of surviving this stage of the game. And if you get through this stage, it's like, cool, now you can play MaxPax's awesome late game. He's so good with the Stalkers. And, yeah, that is going to be a defense for now from ByuN, but I think MaxPax has done enough. 3 bases of his own, slows down the 3rd of ByuN a little bit. Yo, Fireball, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Go now to Jason He 1210, Belisaria, Yalis Main, Basic Adam, and Red Lancer. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs over on the Twitch. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting. Appreciate it every time I see your name, mate. Thank you so much. Medevac drops into the main base as the Bio comes through. A couple of probes will go down. The Zealots will warp in. The Medevac loads up as well. It's going to see a few Marines dropping back down as we do have the couple of Marines are going to come through. Extended Thermal Lance still coming over. Marauder gets shot at. Another Stalker going down. So I see the ByuN going to try and run in here. We would have to get rid of the battery to do anything of real use. It's going to load up, let the Widow Mines get some Zealots. We're not going to be able to find a chance to get through there at all. Extended Thermal Lance and +2 still on the way up. There's a couple of Vikings going to go into that top corner and hunt down the Prism, so then we'll get rid of that. Not bad to have a couple of Vikings early, by the way, because obviously we are going into Colossus here. So we're going to have Vikings against the Colossus as well by building them to deal with that Prism, so that does work out nicely. So yeah. Again, Extended Thermal Lance coming through, +2 attack is coming up. Concussive Shells, armor upgrade, Vikings coming through, the additional Zealots are on the way. Medevac Viking hanging around on the front of the third base currently. Stalker step forward, Marine Marauder taking shots, couple of Vikings step back once again. Extra units just going to warp in, couple of Zealots and a Sentry come through, Extended Thermal Lance and the +2 attack coming in. Stalkers get there, one Viking goes down already. Lambo with the Prime sub, appreciate it, mate. Thanks so much for the 15. As our unit's actually going to get chasing forwards and MaxPax. A little slow to get the blink off there. He's going to get chased down for one more Stalker, at least Concussive Shells helping to trap that one, trying to get away. Again, a couple of Vikings coming up, the Ghost coming through, the armor upgrade building. Vikings still chilling out overhead as our CC sets up on that right-hand side. +2 attack, Colossus producing. Stalker's trying to get there once more. Again, good scan on the right side. Army moving up to the top here from MaxPax as we are going to loop around. He has a good amount of army supply right now. ByuN is trailing and trailing heavily at that as well. Do you see the Zealots going back over the left? The Command Center in the front going to take a few shots of damage. EMP's going down, and I think they're going to deal with the bottom side attack pretty nicely. Those Zealots don't do too much as the top side army, that's obviously the scary part. A couple of force fields are going to trap the ByuN units in, but that will stop the Zealots from doing too much else. That CC should probably just end up being cancelled here. We still have Zealots leaking in from the bottom portion of this. CC lives, and ByuN will survive this little portion of the attack so far. I do not think that CC is going to live any longer, though. It's going to get cancelled. So MaxPax slows down ByuN on the 4th. Colossus from afar. Man, I love this siege tank. It's done a lot of work. And ByuN starting to chase a little bit. I always love to say that a Protoss that's running is one of the weakest Protoss players you can be. A retreating Protoss oftentimes takes so much damage in the process of trying to get away. Madness. Few Zealots going to get around over the left-hand side. Bio still gathering up in the center. Not sure my frames are dropping, guys. I feel like I've got low FPS at the moment, and I'm not sure why that really is. It says it's okay, but it feels not quite great, but maybe it's just a thing with the map or something. Anyways, we continue through. Thank you so much, Dream of Soul, sorry, for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting. As our Bio going to fight, Zealot going to take some damage. We finally get rid of that cheeky tank that's been so annoying. Some of those Stalkers are low, man. As the Prism makes its way into the natural, a couple of Zealots will unload. The Prism will keep one Zealot and head toward the back of the main base. MaxPax just being as annoying as he can be. The 4th base potentially going to get cancelled for a second time. He has Stalker stepping forward to protect against the Vikings. The Prism will get chased, will not get any more warp-ins at least, so that's a big part of the defense from ByuN. Deflecting that while currently keeping the CC alive, he could really do with keeping the 4th base alive this time. EMPs on the Stalkers, more damage to push that back. CC will complete. Shadow Strike coming through, +3 attack on the Forge coming up as well. The army of MaxPax on the right side will gather. The Zealot up to the top, moving around as well. Bio Ghost coming over, a couple of Zealots going to get shot at. The Stalker's trying to move forward too. The Viking's going to stick around there as well, as this was a very torturous way to get to 4 bases, but ByuN's going to get there. As he actually stims forward here, feels as though he has a way to fight. There's the EMP on the Colossus helping as the Vikings start to chip through the Colossus as well. Can we finish off any of those? They're all getting kind of low. ByuN says GG as he's chasing that army down. Wow, let's just take a quick rerun and look at the game at the moment he GG's. It felt as though he was like on his way to killing some of those Colossus, but what else was going on? There was Zealots on the left side. No, I think he just dove forwards. I think he wants to kill the Colossus here, and he just feels like he probably loses too much. Zealots hitting the 4th base. Zealots on the top. The Vikings are pressing through. He still has like 5 Vikings. The Stalkers are running away. Yeah, 2-2 not done yet. And I don't think it's looking super pretty for ByuN. I would have loved to see what happens like in just another like 10 seconds of this fight, because I feel like a lot of this might die, no? I feel like he's about to kill this entire army. And then, yes, he's got Zealots counterattacking, but MaxPax has no defense. He loses the 4th, though. If he kills that entire army in the center, there's almost always a chance he can do something on the other side. And I think from there, you can at least see where the game goes. I think this is one of those scenarios where if you play like an extra 15 seconds, we get a much better idea of whether this was a good or bad GG, right? Because if he kills everything, and he gets across the map and kills a base or so, he can lift up his CC, he doesn't lose the 4th necessarily. And I think there's a lot of potential still. I think there's a lot of potential. We get frame drops to the game when I tab out. Yeah, no, I know that. I feel like my frame rate is just lower than usual anyways right now. I think it might have just been the map. That wasn't what I was talking about. I know that the game loses frames when I tab. I actually felt like during that game it was a little bit worse than usual, so... Game 3, we go to Ultra Love. This series continues to be very fun because I do feel like ByuN fought his way out of a very difficult spot there originally. Did not feel like that was a super easy position to be in. Thank you for all the love and the support, by the way, and the subs and stuff, guys. Amazing to see so many of you. We are actually almost at 3,000 viewers across YouTube and Twitch. We're only about 2.6. No, I can't math. 2.7. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching today. We appreciate you all. As we head into Game 3 of this best of 5 semi-final. MaxPax versus ByuN. Shin waits in the grand final for the winner of this. I know I just straight up said, like, shit! Honestly, I don't know what I was going for. I just went shit, and I had to stop myself. I was like, what am I saying? I was like, no, I'm saying that guy's name. I just, yeah, I had to catch myself there. Funny moment for myself. Didn't really have to share it with you guys, but some of you guys probably heard me like hesitate and was wondering what the heck was going on. Game 3 of this best of 5 series, 1-1 tied up between MaxPax and ByuN. Yo, Ian! Gonna drop the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. As always, let's shout these out at the start of the game. The Devs to 88, Bradley C91, Pudding Dog, Donquichotti, or Donquichotti, or Donquick. One of those. Ostax Nimlov, Ramalesh the Tokdo, Yoho 12345, Estrella, and Lightside 1125. Thank you so much, Ian, for the 10 gifted subs. 888 subs, amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, they've ruined it. 889. Thank you so much, Alex's Deck for the Prime sub as well. Thank you so very much. Generosity, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Zealot Adept here to get this aggression going, as we are going to be seeing the commands and are going to take a few shots of damage. Going to be seeing the Marines, the Hellions going to be fighting the Zealot, and the Adept going to go as well. Adept going to come back through. The SCV is going to get jumped on, will go down. The other Adept comes over as well. For the moment, you are going to be obviously seeing a delay here, but this costs you a few units as MaxPax. Hellion will die. We're going to need another unit from ByuN. I guess another Hellion's about to spawn, so this Adept will not be able to stick around forever. Can we get this next SCV? Yes, we will. That's a couple of SCVs killed then. I like this for MaxPax. Coming through, extra gates in the robo facility coming about, medevac and Marines coming over. Stalker will get back onto the SCV. Marines and the Hellion going to load and just go across the map. Let that Stalker be there. Try and punish that MaxPax to send everything across the map so far. That's ByuN's current idea. A very quick final shout out for the moment. Ian on another gifted sub to the Swiss Nick. Thank you so much for the generosity. That's not good for ByuN at all, as that medevac takes a lot of shots. It will get through. I mean, to be fair, that still means that the Stalkers are going to be out of position, right? Damage done, but units will get to unload in the main base, and there are going to be some probes in some trouble. 2 more Stalkers getting warped in, though. What can this one Hellion do? The probes pull. 2 probes dead. That wasn't really quite the damage we were looking for. Yeah, if that Hellion had gotten away from the probe surround, maybe the Hellion gets a couple more shots off. That makes such a difference. The splash of the Hellion can do so much as those Stalkers hit the orbital command on the natural. And obviously, this orbital is taking a beating as well. There's the Banshee going to show up. Good damage output from him. So we'll be able to do a lot as the Stalkers have Blink, though. So they're able to get away, keeping themselves alive. This is a messy scenario for ByuN. At least about to have a siege tank, but MaxPax says, cool, I'm going to take all of this and drop down my third base. It does feel like MaxPax starts to control this in the early stages right now. The Stalker's just going to come up, kill the Banshee. Siege tank's on the high ground, but that does not protect your mineral line. I think this one might be the fastest game of our series because this is not looking pretty at all. MaxPax is going to get the Prism here, so additional Stalkers can just warp in. Does eat one more tank shot. Some of these Stalkers are very low. Another tank shot, gonna blink forward. The tank goes down. We have to lift the Stalkers back into the Prism. I mean, during all of this, MaxPax is obviously putting ByuN in a position where SCVs are pulling away, not able to stay mining. Banshee gonna get repaired. Again, utilizing every tool in your disposal. As ByuN right now repairs and all sorts just to keep units alive and to keep this going. ByuN only down 7 workers. That seems kind of okay. It's just the game is not really going anywhere for him. He doesn't have any upgrades on the way out. He doesn't have additional barracks set up. No sign of a third CC. Right, these are all the issues that are really going to kill ByuN a couple minutes down the line. The numbers and so on might look okay for now. Okay, he's going to lose the Banshee, and that might be a quick road towards GGing because I feel like losing actual tech units at the moment is going to take away any options he has. I wonder if ByuN even thinks about the longevity of this game, or he's just like, hey, let's get Marine Tank Banshee and just try and make a push, but I don't see how you ever get to the other side when MaxPax is sat out your front door with Blink Stalkers. I mean, he's building a bunker. That doesn't really suggest a push, but like I said, I don't really see... Yeah, I guess I just don't see any way for ByuN in this game. I don't see him play a long game. I don't see him playing a short game. The tank is going to have to siege up, but that's going to get volleyed down. I think GG is probably the best solution here as ByuN has to tap out and give MaxPax the 2-1 lead in this best of 4, though. As in the bottom left, our red Protoss player, this is MaxPax. Takes on the blue Terran in the top right corner of the map. We have ByuN from the Shopify Rebellion. Yo, we also had a £10 donation I just didn't mention on stream. I saw it come in. Got distracted with the other stuff going on. Usolex, thank you so much. Or EU Solex, thank you so much for the £10 donation. Sorry, I did not read that out. I just got caught up with all the other happenings of the world. And we stop and we breathe. As we do have our couple of refineries in the barrack continue to come up. So double gas to start off with here. With a different approach. Get some aggression going maybe. Get some aggro setting up. See what we want to do. Yeah, guys, £10 because Stream Elements forced me to use my local currency, even though I used dollars for donations for years upon years because I feel like it's more universal. It's like, 4% of my viewership is British. Or from the UK. I think it's actually like 8%. But yeah, let's force me to use pounds and give me no other option. Silly Stream Element. It's not even like they pay the transaction fee or anything. I don't get it. It's so silly. As our factory goes down, orbital command coming up. Cybercore and the Nexus coming through. Gonna get that Cybercore finished. Assimilator coming about. Adept coming in. Everybody's gonna find the probe on the side, which is always a nice little get rid of. Don't have to worry about that for the next little bit at the very least. Our CC will continue up here. And the Hellion going to start producing in off the factory as well. Get this ball back over. Just going to have our CC building up. Again, Twilight Council is on its way as the Adept continues over to that far upper right-hand side. So depth coming through. Again, starport coming about. CC is building. Widow Mine. Color Council will finish from MaxPax. Just gonna see the two adepts will go stepping forward. The blink on the way. The warp gate coming up as well. And yeah, that blink will also continue through as our starport completes in the main base. Gateway producing. Marines and the Widow Mine SCV as well, all coming online. Two adepts going to get forwards, and that is going to be a Hellion going down. Just come on in. Going to be seeing a couple probes going to get chased. So a few workers going down, obviously with blink building. That's going to be where we know that MaxPax is going to be kind of hitting his power point. See how well ByuN can do to deal with that. Oh my goodness, you guys are just going crazy today. Thank you so much, Kettler's God, on the 10 gifted subs. Brings us up to 900 total. Going out to Cheesy Puffs, 012349, Punch Mick, Judo Chop, Juno93 Styled, Breakfast TV, Finish the Journey, Widow Mines to kill the Adepts, Sport 77777, SC2 Noobling, The Nut is got, or The Nutsy got, and Aria Ling. Thank you so much, Kettler's God, for the 10 gifted subs and the generosity. And Pixel Zerg on the Prime subs, thank you so much. The Adept shade to their death, and now ByuN comes across the map with the two Widow Mines, looking for a possibility of dealing some damage. Okay, guys, I'll catch up on the subs after the game, because this game's getting serious. We're in the semifinals. Thank you so much for all the support. Captain here on the 10 gift. I'll read those out properly, like I say, after this game, because this is, like I say, getting serious. Blink about to be done here. Medevac, don't get greedy, because you're going to get blinked. Oh, no, we mess up the blink. Very un-MaxPax like to mess up the blink on those first couple of Stalkers, and ByuN gets away with the Medevac and Widow Mines through the bottom side here. They will get out of there. Just seeing our Siege Tank and Marines continuing through. The Prism coming in, and the Nexus building. As MaxPax is... Oh, he's going to intercept the Medevac. Why is he heading home? I guess because he has nowhere good to hide at? Gets caught though, so ByuN does lose those Widow Mines in the end. Doesn't get much more done with them. As the Prism does move out onto the map. The Stalkers going to sit out the front. 6 of them going to join together. As MaxPax takes a third base behind this. ByuN with the Marine Marauder Stim on the way up. Siege Tank production continuing for him. Definitely an important part of this as MaxPax is about to have the Prism across the map. So the Prism Stalker combo can start to look for some damage here in the next few moments. Bunker full of Marines. Stalker's just going to sit nearby. Raven actually going to get an auto turret off, but it goes down. Not the best map for trying to hide harassing units on after they fire the first time, and this was one of those other, just another scenario here where things kind of get shut down. Still got the Marine Marauder on its way up. The Combat Shield and the Stim Pack continuing through. Stalker's going to start a fire on the Bunker, but Bunker does its job, which is to survive for a little while. The CVs get there a little late to play the repairing game. Siege Tank getting a few shots of a few Stalkers trying to get around the back. That's a beautiful little move. 4 Stalkers peel off. They shoot at an SCV. They blink away. Super comfortable. They get in the Prism, whatever they did. You know, super comfortable defense. Observer goes down up in the main. It's a good catch there. Removes some of the high ground vision, but of course you still need the... you still have the Prism to jump into the high ground if you need it. Prism will go to the main base. The rest of the Stalkers decide if they want to join in the main or what the plan is. Stim and Combat Shield continue through, looking well protected. Don't think we're going to see a cancel on any of those upgrades this time around. Fire continues to move about again. Concussive Shells +1 all coming up. We'll see the Combat Shield not far from finishing either as MaxPax goes charge and +1 on the next step of this. So no splash damage for the moment. Going to focus and prioritize moving into the kind of fully gateway army at the, right now. But CC over halfway done as well, and yeah, ByuN really, gets through this without taking much damage. Should be able to kind of turn into this Bioforce. Go after those Stalkers if needed. Robo-Bay coming up, the extra gateways coming around. Again, +1 attack and Concussive Shells come through. Stalkers is going to shoot the Medevacs down. That's lazy movement from ByuN. Maybe unexpected Stalkers in the middle of the map, but yeah, you lose both those Medevacs just because they're not really where they should be compared to the Bio if they do meet Stalkers. Like I say, maybe not expecting to meet the Stalkers there. Kind of makes a little bit of an excuse for you as the Bio army still moving. +1 attack on the way on the engineering base. So ByuN gets that attack upgrade started. Command center lifting. relocating. Still, this Prism has been constantly trying to come back in and do something, but it's just been denied on repeat. Well, let's see in a moment. A single Zealot just looking for info, but that will fall. He does see the CC floating over, so maybe that's what you're looking for there as MaxPax. I'm not sure if you really needed that confirmation. But that Zealot was maybe meant to be like a step down the ramp or something to watch for a move out more so than a third base coming into position. Dark Shrine is going to be building, so that is MaxPax getting into a very comfortable mid-game. DT harassment is obviously one of the major things he utilized in that game number 1 that turned into a long game on ley lines. Definitely expecting that to be a major factor here as well as the Zealots gather on that right side. And again, that typical move of just setting up that harass, setting up those counterattacks. We obviously do have ByuN able to kind of deal with those attacks. As we saw in game number 1, he was very capable of holding those off, so we'll see how well he does it throughout this game. He starts his 4th command center as well. I mean, this game has a similar setup to game number 1. We have potential for this to, really spiral out into a nice long game again. I mean, I've got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping for it. That game 1 was freaking awesome. ByuN going to stim down this ramp. The Stalker's just about blinking away. We do have concussive shells if the if the Marauders especially can get any shots off. We do net ourselves 2 Stalkers there. Blink available, so we turn back around. MaxPax on his way in with the Colossus and extended thermal lens. And he actually recalls that Prism, realizing that that's in trouble. He did lose that in some earlier games as well, where ByuN got the Vikings out and the first Vikings play the cleanup on the Prism. So nice to be able to force that back and push that away. Again, Colossus Corona boosting at the moment as our ByuN continues down this ramp. The Stalkers take a few more shots. Fire units in general continue to move over. So Colossus still gathering. ByuN sitting there with the tanks nearby. A couple of Vikings overhead. The Ghost Academy coming in. The Starport producing. 2 more gateways, +2 and +1 armor. Building also. Stalkers will shoot out a little bit of the ByuN. The Medevac's still right there, healing up where possible. On the right-hand side is the Prism that drops off just a couple of DTs. There is actually a missile turret there, so it's more so about dealing with this Prism more than anything else. A scan here would be probably necessary. We'll have the Vikings to chase the Prism out. I don't believe recall's back, so that should be a guaranteed kill. Prism goes down. ByuN loses out. MaxPax loses out on the Prism, but he did get some damage. 11 SCVs die is obviously a pretty significant number. It was not a couple of DTs in the Prism for nothing, but it is nice for ByuN to play cleanup because it just frees him up for the rest of this game. A tank shot firing, a couple Stalkers taking hits. ByuN is going to have this Protoss army approaching in the near future, so ByuN is going to have to figure out a defense against the army of MaxPax, which is obviously setting up and looking for a chance to get up this ramp, looking for a way to push on in. Here we go. Zealot's going to start moving forwards. The ByuN going to stim. Zealot's going to take a lot of shots. There's a lot of Zealots starting to go down. The Stalker's going to step up. We shoot. The Viking just about survives. Going to pop the Guardian Shield in there. We are going to have the defense on the left looking good. Where are the Vikings at? We just don't have many here to help deal with these Colossus. As ByuN is losing a lot of units as the Colossus just fire at will. ByuN staying spread. Again, he's got a lot of units just elsewhere playing defense currently. They are going to intercept the Zealots. That is coming at the price of not dealing with the rest of this army very easily at all. MaxPax is going to focus on keeping ByuN distracted up toward the top. Try and do the best he can up over there as ByuN continues to play defense on his planetary fortress. These Zealots get turned around one more time. Zealots on the right side will make some progress though, and MaxPax just keeps on poking in 3 different positions. Honestly, I'm going to say pretty good defense from ByuN. Scans and gets rid of that DT. The Prism is going to get pushed back by a turret. ByuN continue to play a very solid hold. What a good defense. When MaxPax is hitting you in 3 different ways, that is not an easy defense to make in the slightest. That is such a difficult defense altogether as the Prism dies going into the main, and ByuN has successfully made his way through to another stage of this game. That locked down defense. ByuN just say no. He knows what MaxPax likes to do, which is make the game too quick for the Terran. Protoss really benefit from the game being too quick when they're able to have DTs and Zealot run-bys that take a lot of units to clean up. And when the Terrans kind of pin back at home, they can mass expand. So ByuN just says, you know what, fine. I'm going to play this super slow. I'm just going to focus on really denying your multi-prong. And if I can do that, this game gets so much better for me given a bit of time, because I'm going to get Deliberators. You might get overcommitted on, you know, that idea of this kind of gateway-focused army, not teching into the Stargates. That's what happened in Game 1. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening here in Game number 4 once again, as the Vikings are going to go chasing Colossus. They lose a few. Obviously, Stalker's getting to the front there, playing the defense. Once more, the Zealots just cannot find anything. ByuN is still refusing to move that army away from that defensive spot. Here's the new challenge, right? The map, Snowpiercer. It's not a good map for going, honestly, even to 4 bases. Going to 5 is going to be a major challenge for ByuN, especially with the way that he's playing, which is to play hyper defensively, because this map spreads you out quickly. Now, that's true of MaxPax's bases, but he's in full control of the game on the map, so it doesn't really matter right now unless ByuN starts dropping about or doing something there, but that's very against what ByuN has been otherwise doing in this matchup so far. You can see this big push from MaxPax up to the top side, because we do have a couple of Zards taking damage. Let the Colossus do their thing from afar. If there's no Vikings nearby, that can be an issue. Somehow, Zealots wander into the natural expansion throughout that entire Terran army. And Zealots actually do just turn around into the bio, which is not going to be great. The few ByuNs on the low ground going to come in as we do get the Charger. Stalkers are unprotected on the top. The Colossus too. A few Zealots trying to get in front now, as we are going to see the Zealots winning the fight on the bottom side. I'd say ByuN wins the fight on the top. The Colossus dies. There's no splash damage in this army. A couple of lame Disruptors in the back maybe can do something. It's not really being utilized at all just yet, as both players drop supply. This Disruptor shot fires through. Tank is going to take some shots. Bio's still trying to come up. Disruptor shot is not going to do much yet. We kill an Immortal. Zealots charge in from the bottom. ByuN's army supply finally starting to drop, especially as the reinforcing Zealots get here. So much of ByuN's supply is in the sky, but they're medevacs that don't have a lot of energy left to heal, so he's missing a lot of what he maybe needs. Disruptor continues to play the zoning game, as ByuN will pull SCVs for a moment at least. Disruptor zone again. MaxPax's reinforcements have been huge, and MaxPax has the bank as well. He just has the money. This was not a good enough fight from ByuN. A lot of the time what we saw in Game 1, just to bring the comparison back, is that ByuN overwhelmed in the fights. This was not an overwhelming fight, and so he doesn't do enough to be able to knock MaxPax back, and it looks as though MaxPax might just about have the edge necessary to close out this Game 4 and to win this semi-final. It's been an awesome series. It looks like MaxPax will set up the revenge game against Shin in the grand finals today, because ByuN is getting bullied back by Disruptor shot after Disruptor shot. You can see our Stalker's getting underneath that CC that's trying to fly over. Disruptors keep on landing as well. The splits just cannot be found. Like I say, a lot of ByuN's supply is up in the skies in the form of medevacs that are just not providing much use at all right now, and so that is unfortunately going to be ByuN knocked down. It's going to be a PvZ grand final. MaxPax versus Shin, the rematch from the group stages where Shin 3-0'd MaxPax. Can MaxPax exact revenge?